Out there in the States, man. I read somewhere that you supported NWA. Is that right? Back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, our setup, our manager at the time, Errol Samuels, he was part of the promotion team that brought them over to the UK. So we did a tour with them. We did like a tour here. Got to meet Dre, got to meet Eazy-E.
Wow.
Got to smoke Black Ash in the back of the van.
Right.
Got to introduce them to tenants. You know, they were talking about, we need beer, drinking. You know, them days man used to drink 40s.
Special brew.
40s of that American pissy beer, like 3.5% or whatever it is.
And we give them the tenants.
And we give them the tenants. And change their life up a little bit, you feel me? Yeah, man.
You got any backstage gossip?
Nah, I ain't got no gossip, but what goes on tour stays on tour. You know the rules. What are you talking about? But it was an interesting tour, I will say that. It was a very entertaining couple of weeks, no doubt. And we was on tour with another group actually. It was a group called Above the Law.
Of course.
Oh yes.
Remember Above the Law? Those guys came
187
out.
Homicide.
187. Yeah, those guys came out. Real cool brothers. They were like real local, like. Yeah, it was a good time, definitely.
Okay. How did you find they reacted to you guys? Obviously, Londoners chatting in a London accent, a bit different from the London or UK sound in the early 80s.
How do you mean? How do you think?
In terms of the accent, because
you mean how the audience reacted to us generally?
Well, no, the Americans, so NWA, Above the Law, they're growing up. A lot of
the time, they didn't know what the hell we was talking about.
Really?
But I mean, especially when we was rapping, but talking like on a reasoning level, it's man, just reason, isn't it? Like, it's all relative, bruv. Like where you come from, it's kind of irrelevant if you connect and build on a level, innit? So. It was all good. It was all good. In terms of the music, we was in two totally different spaces. You get me? Like, we're doing UK reggae music, like they're doing West Coast gangbanger music. It was a different thing, but we were cool. You get me? Good. Definitely. So I mean, to be honest, in terms of the audience and the accent stuff, we had a bigger issue being accepted in the UK on the hip hop scene. I mean, we were foundation part of the UK hip hop scene, but when we were using, because even I used to have a fake American accent. You have to remember that pre-1986 in England, everyone had a fake American accent.
Yeah, because there was nothing to go by.
There was nothing else before that. Until the London Posse came out with our music, everyone had a fake American accent. And them early days, when we first come out, people were like, we don't want to hear that. Rap's supposed to sound American. You're supposed to have an American accent. That was the argument. And now, 30 years later, to come out with a fake American accent, you get laughed at.
You get drawn off stage.
Right, but that wasn't always the case. That wasn't always the case at all.
So who was saying that then, Rodney? Was it the heads of the record labels, the audience? Who was saying that back in the day?
Not so much the record labels. I think the record labels, like, it's a funny one because we were getting, like, we started off going on tour with a rock band, Big Old Dynamite, which was Mick Jones from the Clash, and Clash was like the biggest group in the world. They like people that don't have an understanding. There was a time Clash was the biggest group in the world. Clash split up. Mick Jones from the Clash formed a new band called Big Old Dynamite. He was a hip hop fan.
Don Letts as well, innit?
Don Letts, who made the Sex Pistols movie. Don Letts, who's the guy who's credited with making the connection between punk music and reggae music. You know, because he was playing reggae in the Roxy in New York. Because that's what he had in his record collection. He's playing to a punk audience, but he's only got reggae records. He's got dreadlocks down to his bum. Like you said, come and DJ. All I bought is my reggae records, isn't it? Right. So, and that's how it happened. Like, you get me? That's 1970 something. So these guys formed a band. They invited us as some young kids to go on the road with them. True to Sipo the human beatbox, God rest him. Like, and they said, bring us some friends. He invited us. That's how we formed as London Posse. You know, that's how we first got out and started doing this music thing. And when we got together as London Posse, we already had the idea of doing it UK. Like, we'd already been rappers. I'd already been rapping. I had my fake American accent and my little swag, but I'd already had an understanding that we need to change this thing up. And Bionic, as my elder and my sensei, really formulated that style of this hip hop reggae thing. Originally it was he'd do a bit of reggae, I'd do a bit of rapping. But actually we had to find a way to just talk in our own accents.
My beatbox reggae style.
My beatbox reggae style, you see it there? That's the foundation of it, you get me? So, but then because we started on that route, doing these shows to these rock and roll audiences, they had an understanding of the UK accent in the music already. We're talking about people who listen to the beat and the specials, you know, the Fun Boy 3 and like, you know what I mean? Madness. So they had an understanding.
Cockney
So
slang.
they were embracive of us. They were like, yeah, these little South London black kids, they're alright, ain't they? You get me? But the hip hop crew was like, boy, we don't want to hear no reggae in the hip hop. We don't want to hear this Cockney in the hip hop. It's supposed to sound Yankee. So it was an argument, but we were right. So look now,
course,
the whole world
absolutely.
followed the lead, didn't it? London Posse come set the pace and free me.
That's right.
On the real, man.
Yeah.
You got something to say, Peter?
Yes. Right. Well, we've been saying this before, but how do you feel knowing that some of your stuff is timeless? For instance, like a track like Money Mag, you can play that in any jam, even to this day, and it still tears the place down.
I mean, I would say that's what you hope for, like especially in this day and time when a lot of music is so throwaway. You like, you want to make a record that can stand the test of time. You know, so I'm thankful. I mean, we're a small scene. This scene we love is a small scene locally. Globally, this hip hop scene is the biggest thing in the world, but locally we're a small scene. But I'm glad to know that I've been a part of something that has meant something.
Of course, left your mark.
Yeah.
Well, I say left. It's not like you've gone anywhere. You know what I mean? You're still making moves, still leaving marks.
Still there, but when they write the book, I know they have to leave
Cemented in there, written in stone.
Nah, still doing your thing. I saw you at the Mob Deep in London, but you were with Mob Deep the whole of the UK. Is that right?
Yeah, we did the whole tour. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I work a lot, you know, but this is the thing. Like, you have to recognise. I worked out a long time ago that this hip hop thing is global, and your audience is worldwide. Like, and because of my London Posse foundations, people know me. You know, people know me, so I get around. Like, so I'm not that dude. Like I said earlier, I don't chase record labels. I'm not chasing chart positions. I'm just trying to make good music, reach my audience, grow my audience, and do it organically and keep it moving. That's how I've managed to maintain a career. So I've got an international audience who love me, and I love them, and we keep it moving. You get me? I'm not here to chase someone else's dream. I'm not here to chase, you know, celebrity. I'm a hip hop kid. I'm here to make some hip hop tune and feel some good vibes.
Wicked.
That's what I'm here to do.
Billy One had a big smile on his face when he walked in, man, because he saw you in Australia recently, man.
See? Big up Billy, no doubt. Big up Billy. Yeah, man.
It goes out to his crew if they're locked in Sydney, right?
Yeah, big up the Sydney crew. Big up my man Sam Dutch. Every time you done, know that's my dog. Big up my New Zealand crew too. Yeah, big up my man Hal. He's got the new thing coming out. Definitely represent and check my brother Hal. Yeah, we do things, trust me, we'll get around.
Talking of new things, man, what have you got in the pipeline, Rodney? What have you got for 2015, 2016?
Man, I'm a busy brother, to be honest. I said earlier, I've got this documentary series I'm working on. It's called Under the Influence. Trying to get 3 documentaries done, one about UK hip-hop, one about soul, one about reggae music.
Nice.
Each through the eyes of an artist. The first one being through my eyes, obviously. And it's about the influences that I found when I came to the scene, the people I found who were here, and then the influence we had going forward. You know, basically, that's what it's basically about. It's about a lot more than that, but basically that's what that's about. But the important thing for me this year, really, I mean, I've got to get my record out. So I'm in the midst of just finishing up my album at the minute. It's pretty much recorded. It's really good. It's really quite good.
Can you let us know what that's called? Have you got working on it?
I've got a working title. I don't even want to chat on it too much, Carl. You know, Carl, really. Exactly. But we're nearly there. It's coming out on True Thoughts Record. It's a strong independent label. Like, they do stuff like Quantic Soul Orchestra and Alice Russell and Bonobo. They do Tide. Tide's last thing came out. They do Omar and quality music label. It's not a hip hop label. It's a music label. It's about putting out good music. So I'm happy to be part of that family. And yeah, man, look for me in a town near you.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about what's coming up in terms of your music. What about your documentary? When's that going to hit the streets?
We're looking to have that finished for November.
Okay. Is that all 3 or just the hip hop?
No, just the hip hop one. We're doing them one at a time because it takes a lot of research and a lot of time and a lot of archiving, because I'm not trying to kind of, you know, half step with the thing, bro. I'm trying to leave a testament. Yeah, like, and we often bitch and moan how our stories don't get told properly and don't get told in the right way. And you know, well, I'm taking a moment to try to tell my story, so we need to make sure we do it correct.
Good.
I don't want no bitching and moaning on the other end, you feel me?
So you tour in the UK with that then, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also touring the UK in terms of doing interviews and getting input, because the story is not, I'm not telling a London story, I'm telling the story of what happened in the UK, you get me? So I remember back in the days we used to be in Manchester, we'd be in Birmingham, we'd be in Bristol, we'd be in Leeds. Now we'd be in these towns, the scenes was connected. So I'm following that path. I was just in Manchester last week with Christmas Free, and like I'm connecting, bro.
Wow,
I'm trying to connect and build and kind of connect the dots from 1986 to 2015.
That's going to be deep, man. Should we roll into a track, Pete?